Welcome. My name is Ralph Gonzalez, and this is Positive Power. Positive Power is an interactive show where you will learn a lot of unique therapies that will enrich your life, give you self-awareness, and enable you to live happy, joy-free, and full of positive energy. Today, you are going to experience the power of entertainment, that which you allow to enter and contain the mind, and then you are going to experience how I enter and contain the mind through the art of hypnotherapy. We all like to be entertained. It is an escape from reality to one that at times provides cheer and laughter, like when watching funny movies, and other times sorrows and tears when watching sad movies. It is a breath of fresh air from a mundane life. I guess you can say that entertainment can take us to the highest levels of joy, and if we're not careful, it can take us to the depth of hell. So why the fascination with entertainment? Well, we all like to feel good and enjoy pleasure. Entertainment is a bridge to pleasure. To understand, we first must discuss the pleasure principle and how the mind works with the pleasure principle. The brain does not discriminate and registers all pleasures in the same way. Whether it's funny movies, fine music, food, and yes, even sex. When the brain is triggered by pleasure, it creates the neurotransmitter dopamine, and dopamine evokes pleasure. Dopamine has been so consistently tied to pleasure that it is known as the region of the pleasure chest of the brain. Dopamine does not only contribute to the experience of pleasure, but also plays a role in learning and memory, two key elements that take a person from liking something to becoming addicted to something. Today, we're going to discuss entertainment, that which you allow to enter and contain your mind. And when we have had enough entertainment, most of the time we can shut it off. But what about if that you allow to enter and contain your mind did just that, and you were not able to shut it off, and it became your reality, a reality that could destroy you? We are going to discuss several forms of entertainment. And like with everything, some are good, some are bad, and some are pure right evil that only serve for total destruction of self. I like to think that can be destroyed can also be rebuilt and make even better and stronger. Let's begin with the magic of music, where a simple melody can transcend emotion. Music can boost happiness and motivate us. Conversely, sad music can make us feel sad, and it can cause profound feelings of grief. Music will change brain chemistry and change our function as we see the world. If we listen to music that we enjoy, it creates dopamine, and we experience pleasure and feel good. Conversely, if we listen to music that we do not like, dopamine is not created, and it takes us to a feeling of negativity. Music also plays a key role and can help in the aging process. It can boost the brain, stimulate mood, and it can even reduce pain, blood pressure, and anxiety. One piece of magical music is Vivaldi, The Four Seasons. It is depicted by 4 violin concertos, each representing spring, summer, autumn, and winter. And through a musical expression, it represents the 4 seasons. It was written in the early 1700s, and it's an amazing piece of music if you haven't heard it before. I highly suggest it, and it is my favorite. And this is what you're listening to now. And when we have had enough entertainment by listening to music, we have the option of shutting it off. But what about if we could not shut it off and we would hear it day and night? Eventually we couldn't sleep, it would disturb our concentration, it would affect our health and our well-being. But that is not the case. We can shut it off. That was easy. Let's continue to discuss visual forms of entertainment. They're very powerful, and once you allow them to enter and contain your mind, they're not that very easy to turn off. The optic nerve transmits images to the brain. repetitively watching a behavior will register it as acceptable, and the person will start acting out with that behavior. Take video games. At first they're exhilarating, creating large amounts of dopamine. And as we learned, dopamine also plays a role in learning and memory. Video games will eventually start to affect a person's thoughts, beliefs, and behaviors. I guess you could say video games are a form of brainwashing. I want to discuss a case with you that I once treated. It was about a young man. His mother brought him to me because he was exhibiting violent behavior and he was getting in trouble in school. He was also using profanity and wasn't being very nice to his mother. We did a thorough analysis and found out that he had started to play a violent video game that involved killing. After several hypnotic inductions, we worked with the conscious and the subconscious mind. I was able to change his behavior from watching video games to interacting with his peers and exercising, other forms that create dopamine. I'm happy to say that he's doing good today and his mother's happy. Other forms of visual entertainment that affects a person and their behavior is pornography. It is a billion-dollar industry, and it is very stimulating and creates large amounts of dopamine. The viewer will become addicted to this dopamine, and eventually a porn addiction will develop. Going forth, they probably will crave more dopamine. And as we mentioned before, dopamine does not only contribute to the experience of pleasure, but also plays a role in learning and memory. The viewer will begin to act out sexually, leading to a sex addiction. Other forms of addiction that have started out as entertainment are cigarette smoking, and that is one of the hardest addictions to quit. And it's worth noting that cigarettes became popular after radio and television advertisements. Then, of course, there's gambling addiction, food addiction, and many more. Alcohol and addiction to drugs like cocaine, heroin, and crystal meth destroy lives and eventually leads to death. Addiction develops when a person craves an object, loses control over the use of the object, and continues use despite consequences. The word addiction is derived from the Greek term meaning to be enslaved to or to be bound by. And anybody who has suffered with an addiction or has tried to help somebody overcome an addiction understands perfectly. Addiction not only affects the individual, but it affects everybody around them. And it destroys lives, careers, and relationships. If you feel you are being bound to a force beyond your control, there is hope. And to seek help, find resources, you can visit ralphagonzalez.com, and under services, go to the addiction tab. Entertainment, it can take us to the highest level of joy, and it can captivate us and take us to hell. So be very careful what you allow to enter and contain your mind, because it may do just that, and it may also contain your soul. Never say never. It can happen to you. When we return, you are going to witness how I enter and contain the mind through the art of hypnotherapy. Welcome back. I'm here with Gabriella Zajzon-Mayer. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And you are going to let me hypnotize you,
yes.
And you're going to witness how I enter and contain the mind. But before I do that, tell me a little bit about yourself. Like, where did you grow up? Where do you live?
I'm from Hungary. I'm from Budapest, from the capital of Hungary. And I was 25 when I came here. So
wow.
I have been living here since that.
Yeah. Well, we're very happy to have you.
Thank you.
I know one unique quality or gift or skill that you possess, that is that you're clairvoyant.
Yes, yes, yes.
Tell me a little bit about that.
I would say it's for, I can see past events, also present events and future events. So,
Wow.
but it's a lot of responsibility, you know. That's why I have to block things, because it's just so much information. So I feel more comfortable with that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting. When we were getting ready to shoot the segment, you actually wanted to change chairs. You
Yeah.
thought that that would work better, and I found that fascinating. What can you tell me a little bit about that, or was it just a feeling that you got?
Oh, sometimes I don't know why it's happening. I just have this feeling something pops in. Either it's, as you know, it could be almost mostly a visual thing that I see something and I saw myself that I'm sitting in this chair, not in the other chair. So I said, you know, just if we can do that, that would be great.
Wow. And does this happen automatically, or do you have to get in tune with it, or it just could be like you were sitting here, something just comes into your mind? Is it a thought? Is it a feeling?
I would say mostly visual. So these are
Oh,
pictures.
visual.
Pictures are coming in, and when something pops in more often, then it means there's a big possibility that actually that thing will happen. So I kind of like go with the flow. I learned that's easier, because otherwise maybe something will happen that will make me do that. So, you know, so right now I'll feel very comfortable in this position here.
Good, good. Now, when did you first become aware of this gift? And I'm calling it a gift. Would
Yes.
it be something that is referred to as a gift, or?
Well, yeah, I think it's a gift, because I can, you know, help people with in certain situations, or if they don't have the information, I can give them. But on the other case, sometimes I see things that happens. Sometimes I see things forward that will happen in the future, and I'll try to change it, but it's not working. I'll just, you know, try to move along with it and help people, but then if it has to happen, it will happen.
Wow, wow.
Yeah.
Now you mentioned helping people. I help people as a hypnotherapist, and my mission in life is to help others and do good. I know you're getting ready to launch a business that helps people. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yes. You know, my background is clinical social work, and also gerontology and psychology, art. So I'm putting this combination together and using it towards, you know, helping people. So I'm creating a website, an educational website, and it will talk about different healing approaches, but most of it holistic and alternative healings.
Wow, wow, that's fascinating.
I
So I'm definitely going to be in that web list of practitioners.
thank you. Yeah.
Yes. And you said the people just aren't going to come to you because I did a little research. You're going to take this to events, functions where a lot of people can actually come and experience this. How is that going to work? Are you going to get a group of healers together, or people that do alternative medicine, and have like a convention, have like a fair, or is it just going to be based that the person finds the individual, the type of healing they want, and they go to the person, or is it two scenarios? One
Okay.
individual, or one which will be done with a lot of people?
Well, my main focus is really have it online, so people can see it anytime. That's the the information about the healing approaches, and I'm thinking to go into something else to interview others who are just like you. So I'm really grateful that I'm here, because you are actually could be one of my people who could be on the show, and this way I would love to learn your approach, because you have a very unique way of doing things, and actually using energy, which is my that's one of the big things that I like too. This is one of the basic elements of my healing approaches.
Wow.
So that's awesome. I mean, I really great. It's really great. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to look for different treatments that is not Western treatment, is more the Eastern tradition, which, when you have the Western treatment, you actually describe pills medication to people, and when they take the pills, then side effects can occur. So it means then there are going to be new symptoms. So then you have to describe another medication for those symptoms, and they're covering up the symptoms, not working on the actual cause of the problem. So with the Eastern beliefs in treatments, you can work on the cause of the problem, especially with energy. Energy healing is one of the, the most popular ones.
Absolutely. Actually, you mentioned two things. I work with metaphysical energy, and today I am going to hypnotize you, so you're going to
Yes.
experience some of that. But yes, people die more of medications more than the combination of heroin, alcohol, and cocaine.
Okay.
More deaths are due because of prescription medications. So you're right on target. Any last words?
Uh,
No, not
well,
last words.
I'm so excited, and this is my first time being in a show, and I'm
Oh,
kind of like
I'm honored.
camera shy, so
I'm honored.
I have a little fear and anxiety, but usually I'm pretty calm.
Okay, fear and anxiety. We're gonna take care of that. Well, Gabby, thank you so much for being here, and let's go on to the hypnotism part
Thank
of
you.
the interview.
Thank
When
you.
we come back, I'm gonna hypnotize Gabby.
Thank you.
Welcome back. I'm here with Gabriella Zajzon-Mayer, or Gabby, as I like to call her. And I am going to hypnotize you today. But just referring back to a couple of things we spoke about, you are starting a new business, and I think you said there was some type of stress, anxiety, maybe a little fear. Would you agree with that?
Yes, definitely. Because it's a new thing. I mean, even if I knew something that will happen in the future, it doesn't mean, the path forward is,
Yes.
is unknown.
No, I understand. Everybody actually has a little bit of fear when they're trying a new endeavor, so you're exactly where you should be.
Okay.
You want to see one of my prized possessions?
Yes.
This is my pendulum.
Oh.
And this is what I'm going to use to take you into a hypnotic induction. And all I want you to do is follow the pendulum with your eyes back and forth and just listen to the sound of my voice. And I will do all the work. How does that sound?
Good.
So we're going to begin with the number 20. We go to 19. And as I count down, your eyes may begin to feel heavy and like closing. And if they do, wonderful. But if they don't, by the time I get to 0, just close them anyway. And we continue with the number 18, down to 17. Feeling very relaxed at 16. Even more relaxed at 15. And down to 14. Down to 13. Go to the number 12. Getting very, very relaxed at 11. And down to 10. Just letting go. Feeling very comfortable and at peace. Down to 9. Down to 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1 and 0. Now I want you to begin to take one deep breath in. When you breathe in, feel in peace and relaxation. And just blow out all stress or anxiety. Anything that stands in your way of your immediate relaxation. Second breath, breathing in. And out. One more breath, breathing in. And letting go. I want you to squeeze your eyes and your eyelids tightly. And begin to relax them very, very slowly. Letting go of any tension. Just relaxing them totally. And I want you to imagine the relaxation going from your eyes and your eyelids to the tip of your nose, to your chin and your cheeks and throughout your whole face. Down your neck, into your shoulders, down your arms, into your chest and belly, and all the way down to the bottom of your feet. And just take some time to enjoy this relaxation, this peaceful, calm state, which feels so, so good. I want you to imagine yourself in front of an elevator. You press the button and the doors open and you step in. And you realize it's a glass elevator and you can see the sky. And the sun's not out. It's actually kind of cloudy, but it is not raining, but it's still cloudy. And you look at the buttons and it's from the 20th floor to the 0th floor. And you find that very fascinating. A floor with the number 0. So you press the number 0, the doors close, and you begin to ride down from the 20th floor down to the 19th, down to the 18th. And at 70, you start to begin to go into the hypnotic sleep. And a little deeper at 16, and deeper at 15. Going deeper and deeper into the hypnotic sleep at 14. And riding down to 13. Down to 12. Down to 11. Down to 10. 9. 8. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and 0. The doors open and you step out. And it's a big rainforest with huge trees and the leaves are as tall as you. Really magnificent. And flowers are very color. They're red, yellow, pink, and even white roses. And big sunflowers. But it's very unique because you look at the trees and there are orchids growing out of the trees. It's truly a magical, beautiful place. And in the distance, you see a body of water. And you start walking toward it. And as you walk to it, you realize it's a lagoon. And you walk and you walk and you get to the edge of the lagoon. And you know you have to get in, but you don't want to get in. It's like this uncomfortable feeling, but you get in anyway. And you feel cold and the gravity's holding you down and it's uncomfortable. But then you decide to take your right hand and part the water. And as you do, your right hand begins to feel warmer. And then you take your left hand and part the water as well. And your left hand begins to feel warmer. And then in the distance, you see a waterfall, a beautiful waterfall. And you know that you must swim to it. So you start swimming. And as you swim, your body gets warmer. And you start to gain control of that water. That water that once held you frozen, that once held you still, that once held you cold, you're maneuvering through it and you're swimming and you get a feeling of appreciation. And that feels pretty good. And you swim and you swim. And you get to the waterfall and you look up and the drops are falling on your face and they feel heavy and uncomfortable. And you don't like them. Then you realize they're just drops. drops of water, and they bounce off your face. Just like so many times, things come at us, things that we don't like. But then we realize that they will pass. And just like the water, they bounce off our face. And then the water becomes refreshing. That water that was once heavy and uncomfortable on your face, now it bounces off your face and it becomes refreshing. And as you look at the water, the sun comes down, you feel the warmth of the sun on your skin. And what happens when the sun and the water merge? A rainbow is formed, a rainbow with all its magnificent colors. And as you look at the rainbow, you start to drift towards it, higher and higher, light as a feather, higher and higher, light as a feather. And you enter the rainbow, and you will always take this rainbow with you. For it is your gift for swimming through that water that held you still and conquering those drops. Now I will count from 1 to 5, and when I get to 5, you will be wide awake and your eyes will be wide open. At 1, you're happy. At 2, you're joyous. At 3, you're free. At 4, you're full of positive energy. And 5, eyes wide open. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, eyes wide open. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wide awake, eyes wide open, wide awake. How are you?
Wow.
Feeling good?
Yeah. It
Excellent.
feels like I slept for 2 hours.
Oh my God, wow. Well, thank you so much for being here at Positive Power. And I wish you much success in your future endeavors. And we must speak again, and maybe you come on the show again. What do you think?
Yeah, I would love to.
Good.
Thank you
good.
for having me.
Oh, well, thank you so much.